I need fucking coffee. So I have a question. What is the one thing that everyone wants, but for some reason we just cannot seem to get enough of, or honestly to even truly acquire in the first place? Think about it. If you need to pause the video, pause it, and then come back to me. If your answer involved money, or just, material things in general, which usually obviously generates from the desire for money, or if it revolved around more ineffable or intangible elements such as love and peace and just a little more, I guess, moralistic answers, then number 2, you're kind of more in alignment with where I'm going with this. So, okay, let's just get into this video. Most of you are probably really good at context clues, so you kind of already know that this video is going to be about our favorite subject, the secret to happiness, and how I believe that I've acquired it in my life. I'm just going to be sharing with you guys my journey in this process, how every single day I am able to genuinely, wholeheartedly feel happy in my life. It may sound like a bunch of bull, because it's like, how are you able to say that you are happy every single moment of your life? There's just no way. That's unrealistic. You're lying and you're a phony. But I promise you guys, I'm not a quack. These are really just some steps and practices that you can implement into your daily life that will help you and honestly just guide you to becoming a happier person. I feel like as a human, our favorite thing to do is try to understand the world around us. We constantly question everything. I'm currently reading the book Untamed. She said that intangible, ineffable elements such as love and sexuality and fate are all external forces that influence us and affect us. But humans, since we have this natural curiosity, we are constantly trying to put these naturally wild elements, take them and place them into glasses so that way we can understand it better and label ourselves and label others, or we believe it allows us to understand it better, because as most of us know, humans we fear the unknown, because things that we don't understand we believe may hurt us. I say this to say that I believe that is the same case with happiness. The way that we view sexuality, faith, and love and peace. Happiness is its own natural, divinely influenced element, right? And therefore, because we are all components of this divine world, we make it up, we influence it, we contribute to it in any way we can, because of just our placement in this world and our subjective experiences. The way that we feel and the way that we experience, the way that we interpret, inspire, or become inspired by these ineffable elements, it's the same case with happiness. We all experience it differently. We all experience it at different frequencies, and that's why I say that for me in particular, I believe that based on my subjective experience and my personal interpretation of what happiness is, that I feel as though I have mastered it every single day, in spite of everything in my life, in spite of all of the obstacles and fear and anxiety and negative thoughts and the circumstances of this insane world that we're living in right now. I can genuinely say that I experience happiness on a daily basis, and that in general I am a happy person. I know I'm not the only one who has battled with feeling completely miserable and hopeless and isolated and I guess completely alone in the world. In order to understand how happiness works, how to acquire it, the secret to it, we have to understand what happiness is. So what exactly is happiness? I'm going to break it down for you guys. And again, I am not a guru. I am not here to tell you how to live your life. So I'm not going to say that this is a definite definition, you know? It's not something that is consistent. So my definition of it now, today in this moment, may not match what it is tomorrow, because as with life, we are always constantly evolving. But I will say, in this moment, this is what I feel like happiness is. And again, I have my notes, so I like to stay organized. So one thing I've come to understand about happiness is that it is not just a feeling. Happiness it's an experience. It is similar to the other emotions in the sense that it comes in waves, okay? I think that a lot of us want to be happy, and we ask this existential question of, okay, what is the secret to happiness? A lot of us aren't really asking what is happiness because most of us have experienced it. But what we really truly are asking is, how can I experience happiness on a consistent basis? Most of us just want to feel happy all of the time because all of the other emotions are confusing and frustrating, and we feel like we lack control. Some people genuinely believe that they've never experienced happiness, which is also very interesting. How can we desperately wish for something that we really know nothing about? If you believe you've never been happy, then why are you constantly seeking it? Understanding that happiness is not consistent. Happiness is not only a feeling. Happiness is an experience. The second thing I've come to understand about happiness is that it exists in almost every single moment. So you know how people say, choose happiness? That the disconnect between the people that say happiness is a choice and the people that say it's not is really the misconception that happiness solely lies in your mindset. What I mean by this is that people who say happiness is a choice believe that you can literally alter anything you want in life. You can alter your circumstances, you can alter the world around you just by changing your perspective, which I believe there is a lot of validity in that. But people who say that happiness is not a choice and it is something that you have to experience something tangible in order to really exhibit that happiness, having enough money to pay your bills or just being financially stable, these real world issues that can impede on that feeling of happiness, there's also validity in that. However, what I will say is that this misconception of happiness as being solely based on your perspective, that's not happiness in its entirety. We are so caught up in psychoanalyzing ourselves, right? Because our generation especially, we are so hell-bent on understanding, which is so important and amazing, but we are so rational and analytical, and we try so hard to understand these elements that really are not meant to be understood but felt, if that makes sense. So I feel like us being so obsessed with labeling everything makes it a lot harder for us to really fully experience what happiness is, because we keep on saying what it should and shouldn't be, what it is and what it is not. Happiness is meant to be felt. The first step to this really was understanding that happiness is not just me changing my perspective, because I can tell myself a million times, be happy, and then there's a difference between telling yourself that and then actually feeling that. Happiness exists in here, it begins in this region, and it is through the feeling of fulfillment and the feeling of purpose. So I said all of that to say that. So That is my general definition of happiness. It exists within in the moment. It's in every single moment. It's there, even when we do not consciously recognize it. Subconsciously, it is there. It just takes some digging, your conscious being willing to pull it out of your subconscious, right? It is inconsistent, but it is constant in the sense that we always have access to it. But a lot of us don't know how to get in there and fish for it and find it and keep it up here. A lot of us will experience that for a moment, and then we let it get boggled down again by life's circumstances. What has helped me and what has made me feel fulfilled and what has guided me towards finding my purpose is faith and gratitude. I was at an incredibly low point in my life, and I just kind of wanted to give up on everything. Everything felt entirely purposeless, and I felt like a black hole, just sucking everything in and spitting it out. I didn't feel like a person. I felt worthless. I felt indifferent, and I felt numb. I kind of got tired of feeling that way. I was like, I don't want to die, and I don't want to give up on myself. So I need to figure out what I can do to feel alive again. What really catapulted me into just, faith and hope was gratitude. I would just wake up in the morning and say thank you to God. It didn't start with me like saying full-blown crazy prayers. I just would wake up and I would say thank you for waking me up this morning, because that's a blessing. Thank you for another day. Thank you for my family. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for getting me to the store safely. The little things that we take for granted, that's what I started becoming even more and more grateful for. Refer to faith, I'm not talking about God or religion. I did have my own personal experience with that, and I'll get into that in another video. But I'm talking about faith that things will get better and that I have the power to help make them better. So once I started being grateful for every single person in my life and looking at everything as a blessing, that was when I realized, like, I have been selfish for so long. I can't continue to feel so sorry for myself when there's so many things outside of myself that are happening. And I can't continue to feel so sorry for the world when I'm still here, and it's not a lost cause, because I'm still here, and there are people like you and I who are here, who are alive, who care about these issues. So why am I going to let all of that negativity hinder me when I could be using it to propel me forward, to motivate me, to inspire me to change it? But that ideology, that mentality did not form until I realized what I had. Expressing gratitude. And I'm not saying just gratitude for having a job. I'm talking about gratitude for waking up in the morning. I'm talking about gratitude for having 2 legs to walk with, for having 2 healthy functioning lungs. Every single thing I am thankful for. When I find myself being negative and wanting to complain or feeling, stressed or overwhelmed, I tell myself, now you're in this moment, you have the power to change that. You have the power to alter whatever it is that is affecting you. And so now it's like I can't even sit here and complain about anything, because I'm just so grateful for what I have. Whether it's ugly and disgusting and unjust, or whether it's beautiful and true and so authentically life, right? I'm thankful for it. Every single part of it, because I'm still here and I can still do something about it. I can still change something. I can still make a contribution. I'm still valued, I'm still loved. I can't allow all of that to stop all of this. And having gratitude and then pairing it with faith, right? So now with faith, it's just hoping and believing in something that hasn't occurred yet, but you've already envisioned it in your mind and you already feel that it's possible in your heart. It's about opening your eyes, really opening your eyes, not just these eyes, this eye, opening your eye to see beyond what tangibly exists. I had to open my eyes to understand that like this world, there's so much more to it than you or I could ever really imagine. When you just see life as something for you to craft, like a project, never see the world the way you did before, because we feel so miserable because we feel as though we lack control. When you exhibit gratitude and faith, control goes out the window because you understand that something else is what's really in control. And you understand that the deck of cards that you have available to you, you can always swap hands. You come to understand that like this life is yours and it's your painting. It instills this belief that I'm going to be okay, and that now I need to figure out what it is I can do to make sure that I'm okay for as long as possible, or to make sure that other people also are okay. So gratitude and faith have allowed me to focus on myself less and focus on the external more. And instead of being intimidated or fearful or discouraged by it, now I feel inspired and ready and willing to learn, to acquire, to attack, to live. Because I know there's something there watching over me because of all the blessings I have. Because I know that we are the creators of our own destiny. So I know the world is mine. You are here for a reason. You have to know that life, it's never going to be perfect. I truly believe that being happy consists of acknowledging all of the difficulties of life and absorbing that pain completely, and still deciding to do good, still deciding to give love, to show compassion, and not even recognizing those terrible instances as terrible, but recognizing them and accepting them as blessings and as lessons, because you know that going forward now you're going to be able to utilize the knowledge you gathered from that experience, and it's going to help you along your journey, and it's going to push you and continue to guide you towards where you're meant to be. So that, to me, a result of happiness. Happiness is knowing that you will be okay. It's a knowing. It's that you just know. You don't have to feel happy every single moment. If you did, you'd be a freaking robot. Your happiness is always there. It's just not always visible. It's just not always visible, but it's always there. It's always there, and you can pull it out whenever you want to. And when you look at life like that, there's no way that you won't be happy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That was a mouthful. But honestly, I really am so happy I was able to just sit down and talk and have this conversation with you guys. I hope it was helpful. I hope that you got some value out of this. And I love having conversations like this with people and, myself in the mirror, because sometimes like I really just isolate myself, and crazy. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope that, you know, this provided you with some clarity. I hope it has maybe inspired you to look at life in a different way. Focus on what you can control, and work towards changing what you feel like you cannot. But don't get discouraged. Do not. You're one person. You're one person. Give yourself some grace. Anyway, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching until the end if you did. And yeah, like and comment, and I would really appreciate a comment. I really would like to have your feedback. Subscribe, please. And I love you so much. I will see you in the next video, and have a beautiful week. I love you. Bye.